There's a lot of people who talk about healing yourself naturally, with love, with positive energy. And maybe you've tried this approach, but we're left a little bit disappointed with the results. Today we're going to see if natural healing really works. Can you do it with love, with positive energy? Or is it just a bunch of wishful thinking? That's what we're going to take a look at today. Coming up. Welcome to the Power of Quiet, showing you a deeper side of yourself in which within you right now, you have the raw power to have, do, and be whatever you choose. And what we do here is show you in just simple, practical, step-by-step ways of how to identify this power, bring it out, and demonstrate it in the world. Actually see results reflected back to you, showing you the causal connection that you have over your own life. And if this is something that you want to explore and cultivate and bring out in your life so you can be in the place where you could have, do, and be whatever you want, just within your own power, within your own self-determination, then hit subscribe and welcome aboard. Now, today we're going to talk about how to heal yourself naturally. Just with love, just with positive intention, good vibes, all that stuff. Does that really work? Or is it just some sort of woo-woo nonsense? Now, if you're like me, you've probably been around the spiritual community a lot, and a lot of people talk about this. And also, the masters, they all come from this position. You know, the masters like Yogananda, Lester Levinson, Ramana Maharshi, Eckhart Tolle. They all come from the place where they say, you are not the body, but the body is your creation. And once you get back to yourself, realize who you are, then that puts you in control of your body. And they also direct you towards love and loving your body and teaching that love is the most powerful effect that you could have on your body. And you probably have tried this, like me, and gotten some results, but maybe ultimately felt like, oh, you know, this really doesn't work, or I just can't get it to work consistently. And I've experienced this along my own journey, where I've had miracles. You know, I've loved my body and it just turned around right away. Even doing impossible things like healing bones in no time. You know, healing teeth that had cavities, taking an x-ray, just releasing, giving love to those cavities, taking another x-ray, and the cavity's gone. But trying it again with another problem in the body, but it's not working there. And then that experience has led me to doubt, well, did the other experiences, were those even real? So we all kind of come up with these challenges on our path. And sometimes these challenges kind of leave us feeling stuck, leave us feeling like, oh, we're never going to get there. And whether we want to admit it or not, we kind of abandon our path. And I've seen this with a lot of people that I used to sit in retreats with and do this work with, listen to the same masters with, have the same spark of inspiration. You know, when they say that you are not the body is just your creation and your thinking. Like there's a part within all of us, I think, that rings true. There's a part of us that lights up and says, yeah, I can feel that. I resonate with that. But proving it out seems to be a challenge. So what we're going to take a look at today is why it doesn't work when it doesn't work, and how to make it work consistently. And as we examine this, we're going to take a very practical way through this to get ourselves back in line. So this isn't going to be something that is just, you know, really out there. It's all woo-woo. It's all speculation, against good common sense and science and all that stuff. We're going to take a very practical, scientific, proven-based approach to seeing if love really works on the body. Let's look at the general principle of how love works and how it could have a positive impact on the body. Because, look, when you have a body problem, whether it's an injury or some sort of illness or symptom that comes up in the body, you can look at it like this. That symptom or that pain is basically the body ringing a doorbell saying, hey, there's something wrong here. Please fix me. Now, how do we fix this problem? How do we answer this doorbell? Do we typically answer it with love in our natural response? Or when that doorbell starts ringing, when that pain starts showing up, do we go right into hating it? Like, oh my God, this pain, I can't stand it, make it go away. Or we have some other symptom coming up, and then we feel nervous. We feel insecure. We feel like, uh-oh, there's a problem here. I don't know what to do about this. And we go run into our mind looking for an answer to this. What's wrong? How do I fix it? Who can fix it for me? And so we go looking all over the place, looking for an answer to the problem. And all the while we're frustrated, we're scared, we're beating ourselves up. We're taking a very negative approach to dealing with the problem. Now, it's perfectly reasonable to see that when you answer this doorbell with negativity, with disapproval, like, oh, I don't like what's happening right now, make it go away, that by putting negativity into it, by answering it with negativity, that doesn't help the situation. In fact, taking that negative approach and disapproving of it, coming from a place of fear, that gets us stressed out, all tensed up. And just in a physiological way, that makes the situation worse. Whereas if we answer that doorbell with positivity, with just pure love, even if that love wasn't some magical force that cured the body, but just taking that attitude, that puts you in a better position, because at least it puts you in a better positive mindset where at least you're more open, you feel better, you feel easier, more relaxed. And in that positive mindset, you're in a better position to make smarter decisions about how to deal with what's going on, not reacting out of fear. So we're talking about just very practical things. You know, it's practical to be loving towards the body. It's not anti-science. It's not some sort of woo-woo thing. It's very simple and practical. Now, you and I probably get that. That makes sense, and that's what we practice and we apply. So why does the application of that not seem to be so reliable sometimes? Where we apply love, but nothing changes, which leads us to feel frustrated, to feel like, oh, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? And just see if you've experienced that, where you just try to love something and it wasn't changing and you feel like let down. Now, if you've recognized that you felt like let down or frustrated by the lack of results, then that shows you the nature of the problem right there and why you're not getting the results. Because you're trying to love, but that love has conditions. That love is coming with strings attached. Basically what you're saying is, you know, whatever is painful, whatever's having the problem, I'll love you as long as you get better. But if you're not going to get better, then I'm going to freak out. I'm going to start getting negative. I'm going to start getting frustrated. I'm going to start beating myself up. That shows you your real intention. And that's not loving. That's like making a deal. Hey, if you get better, well, I'll love you. As long as you reciprocate. Right? That's a deal. That's a transaction. That's not loving. And the love that all these great masters are talking about is love with no strings attached. Love that is unconditional. And I'll show you how to take this approach. And this is the approach that when I catch myself, right, doing the loving, but not getting the results, I come right back to me, fix this, and this makes all the difference. This makes that problem go away. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first of all, take a look to see if there's a body problem that you've been struggling with. All right, maybe it's like a chronic pain or an illness. Maybe you have like a condition, a disease or something that has no cure, and you're looking for a solution to it. Just take a look. Now, first thing I want to ask you is, how long have you been looking for a solution to this problem? Has it been weeks, months, years, or longer? And out of all this time of looking for an answer, and you've probably looked over here, looked over there, read this, asked this professional, seek this advice, try this other, far out thing, because hey, what the heck? And you tried all these things, and you still don't have an answer. And that shows you the first mistake is because you're running to your mind for a solution. And you could probably see, after all this time of looking for an answer, whether it's been weeks, months, years, or longer, your mind has not come up with an answer. Or it comes up with answers, it has labels for things. Oh, you got this, and it means this, and that's what this is. But in that answer, there's no solution of what to do about it. It's like, okay, great. I got this problem. I have this diagnosis. Wonderful. What do I do with it? See, an answer that I'm talking about, an answer in which you've been looking for from your own mind, if it was a real answer, then you wouldn't have the problem anymore, because an answer is a solution. You would have been done with it. So if you still have the problem, and you've been looking for that answer for a long, long time, the first thing to recognize is your mind doesn't have the answer. And keep going back to that thing, asking it again and again and again. It's like going to an empty drawer. You're looking for like your lost keys. And you look in a drawer and you go, oh, did I leave them in there? No, it's empty. But you go back to that drawer again and again and again. Oh, is it in there now? No. Oh, is it in there now? That's basically what you're doing with your mind, right? It doesn't have an answer. So isn't it silly to keep asking it over and over and over again? Like they say, crazy is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So, you see your mind doesn't have an answer to whatever it is that you want to get rid of or you want to change about your body. So we can set that aside. We're going to stop wasting time with that. Now, take a look to see if you've been disapproving of your body, or disapproving of the pain, or whatever sensation you're experiencing, or disapproving of yourself. Well, why me? Why did I do this stupid thing that brought this on? Or why did it happen to me? And how does it help you to beat yourself up? What do you accomplish by doing that? It doesn't give you any sort of positive result. I know some people like to say, well, it motivates me. to look for an answer, to try harder, to not be apathetic. But you can still go for a solution without all that negative overhead. That's not required. But basically, by beating yourself up, it makes things worse, much worse than it provides any benefit or solution to you, right? And who's doing it? Who's beating yourself up, or who's beating up on your body? And remember, that pain or that symptom, it's just your body ringing a doorbell saying, hey, this needs your attention. And if you answer that doorbell with negativity, well, maybe that's why you're still with this problem. And if you look closely, you can probably see, even up to now, you're just still like, I hate this. I don't want this to be here. I want this to go away. I want things to be different. Right? And see, whose choice is it to disapprove of what's going on? It's your choice. And if it's you who's doing it, and it's not helping you to do it, now you can take control. Now you can make a decision. I'm going to be positive and love my body, love that pain, love that symptom, love myself. Or I'm going to be negative and hate it all. Now, which do you prefer? Well, I'm assuming you're preferring to be positive. I mean, that's pretty much the obvious choice when you look at it. It's like, duh. So could you let go disapproving of yourself? Since you're in charge, it's your decision right now. And that decision, it's simple. It's just yes or no. That's all. Could you let go disapproving of yourself? And could you let go disapproving of yourself a little bit more? And could you let go disapproving of yourself a little bit more? And could you let it go a little bit more? And a little bit more. And a little bit more. And could you let go of disapproving of your body? Again, how does that help you? If you're directing negativity towards your body, you might as well be taking a baseball bat to yourself, just banging on yourself. Right? So could you let that go? Could you let go disapproving of your body? And could you let that go some more? And some more. And some more. And could you let go disapproving of your body even more? And even more. And even more. And if you have pain or some sort of sensation that you have that you don't like, that you're disapproving of, does disapproving of it make that sensation or pain go away? Or does it actually amplify it? And again, who's doing it? Now, could you let go disapproving of the pain or symptom or sensation? Could you let go disapproving of it some more? And some more. And some more. And even more. And even more. And even more. Now check to see how you feel right now. Doesn't that feel lighter? More relaxed, more open, more positive? right? You feel a difference? And check your body. Like if there's pain there, see if the pain is a little bit less. Just check. Or maybe if it's something that like has a range of motion issue, maybe try to move it around and see if it's responding that way. Just see if there's any difference in your body, if it's responding. Notice that, even if it's small. And look at all that you did. You just let go disapproving of it, give it approval. So right there, that's feedback, proof that love works. But why doesn't it work all the time? Well, like I said, a lot of times we have strings attached to our love, right? We need it to get better. So take a look at this body problem and see if you're wanting to change it. Like it needs to change. And be honest. Now, take a look at your attitude with wanting to change it. Look at where you're coming from. Basically, what you're saying is I cannot be happy, I cannot be positive, I cannot be loving as long as you're that way. It's only after you change that I'll feel better, I could be happy. Once that happens, once that problem goes away, I'm going to feel so much more secure. I'm going to have peace of mind. And be honest, isn't that true? You're like looking for that light at the end of the tunnel, right? At the end of the rainbow, that pot of gold. But that doesn't come unless things change. And the way that things are right now, that's just unacceptable. I can't be happy with that pain there, right? It's always pulling on me. It hurts. I don't like it. So basically what you're deciding is to hold out your happiness. And that is what trips you up. Because all of these masters, they're coming from unconditional love. They're coming from a place of imperturbability, where they're not bothered by the present situation. They love it all the same. Now, that wanting to change, how long have you been wanting to change what's been going on? Weeks? Months? Years? Longer? Now, if that want for change was so powerful, was so necessary, that wanting for it, you've been wanting it for a long time, you would have had it already. Now, this is something that the mind will never understand. That's why it's not a good idea to go to the mind for answers. Because according to the mind, you can't have something without wanting it. Right? The mind cannot understand any other way around that. So the mind, in the essence of it and how it operates, it's a wanting machine. So we have to demonstrate. Other than that, we have to demonstrate that that's not true. That wanting isn't necessary to get to having. In fact, it's the obstacle to having. And your first clue is just the negative side of it, right? That attitude of, well, I can't be happy now in this present moment. I can only be happy after things change. That's when everything turns into roses, right? So basically what you're deciding is, in this now moment, I'm going to be unhappy and negative. Now, how are you supposed to create something positive by being negative? And this all comes back to wanting things to change. Get in touch with that. Take a look at your need for this thing in your body to change, this condition in your body. And can you see that idea of, once it's over, then I'll be happy. I'll feel so relieved. But things aren't changing. And guess what? If you keep going down this road, you're just going to end up in this same exact situation, wanting things to be different, but nothing's different. Now, if you really want things to be different, you got to let go of that wanting to change. Could you? I mean, what do you have to lose? Things aren't changing anyway. So try it out. And it is your decision. Just like it's your decision to beat yourself up, who's doing it? You are. And if you're doing it, you can turn that around right now. Could you let go of wanting things to be different in your body? Could you let go of wanting to change what's going on in your body? Could you? Just a little bit, if not too much. And could you let go of wanting to change it a little bit more? And could you let go of wanting to change it a little bit more? And even more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And could you let go of wanting to change it even more? And along that note now, could you come from the position, just decide to be happy anyway, right now, despite what's going on? Whose decision is that, if not yours? So could you be happy despite what's going on? Yes or no? And maybe just decide it a little bit. Now, could you just allow yourself to be happy a little bit more? And could you be happy a little bit more? Even if this thing never changes, even if it never goes away. Basically, could you come from the position where you're just as happy as if it all changed right now, like just went away? You'd be pretty happy, right? But could you be just as happy now? Maybe just a little bit, not too much. But it's your decision. Could you be happy a little bit more? And a little bit more. And a little bit more. And from this place of happiness, could you give your body some love, just as it is, without needing anything to be different? Just love it. And could you love it some more? And more. And even more. And how do you feel now? How do you feel? And how does your body feel? Just right now. Loving it. Better? Now, how powerful is that? And look at your state of mind. You see, when you're wanting to change things, what are you holding in mind? Remember, the mind deals in pictures. If I say don't fall down, what do you get a picture of? Falling down, even though I said don't. So when you're wanting things to change, what are you holding in mind? The problem as it is, the thing that you want to change. That stuck situation. So no wonder it's not changing. That's because the mind is a creative instrument. And you've just been using it the wrong way by holding the wrong thing in mind. That's why Lester always said, examine your thinking and correct it. Let go of holding in mind the things that you don't want. And then you'll just naturally hold in mind everything you do want in a nice, positive, effortless, and imperturbable way. Right? And that's the key word, imperturbable. That's where you love with no strings attached. Where you love without requiring anything to be different. And that's the love that changes things very quickly. So, practice this. You see, if you have a big shift just doing this right here in this video, imagine if you did this all the time. But it takes practice. Because notice the habit. Go back to earlier. When that doorbell typically rings, what is the gut reaction? The habitual reaction? Oh, I've got to change this. I hate this. All right, you just go right into that negative mode. And if you're like me, who's even been practicing positivity, love for a long, long time, this habit is still hard to break. But it can be broken. Now, if you really want to break this habit once and for all and get to a place where you're solidly coming from imperturbability, which puts you in charge of your body, puts you in charge of your goals in life, then I invite you to join me in a new 6-week course called the Body Mastery Course, because we're going to put all of this into practice. And we are really seriously going to be practicing imperturbability. We're going to bring out that master in us, because it takes a master to be in a place where nothing and nobody can bother you. And all of us, we hear these masters and we want to be like them, but we are holding out on that essence of what it takes to be a master. Because a master isn't just in a place of mastership when everything's going their way. They're not just loving and imperturbable when everything is perfect. They're loving and imperturbable even if there's an apocalypse going around all around them. That's the measure of a master. And that's what we're going to take, that position. We're going to cultivate it. We're going to make that our purpose. So if you want to join in that and see what it's like to live like a master and the effect that that has on your body and the world around you, then join me in the Body Mastery course. I'll put a link to it up here, also in the description below. But this is a perfect time for you if you've been on this path for a while and you've had some gains, but a lot of challenges, and maybe you found yourself kind of falling off the wagon where you got swept up with all of the ego battles that are going on nowadays. I invite you to get back into the position of being a master in this world, to being imperturbable. All right? The way that the world is headed right now, that's really the only option we're left with. So come join me and see how that can change your life right now. And above that, keep practicing this and keep proving it to yourself that you have this power inside of you. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care.